Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Diana Rose Bayais, and I will be your teacher for today's lesson. For today's topic, we will be talking about metacognition. Now, I have here my PPT to guide us in our lesson today. So, let's explore about metacognition. So, first, we'll be able to identify the learning objectives, where first, define metacognition and its role to learning. Second is to identify key components, which is the cognitive, the knowledge, and the regulation. Next is to apply strategies for self-monitoring and self-reflection. And the last one is implement teaching techniques to foster metacognitive skills. So, these learning objectives you will be able to explore at the end of this lesson. Have you ever thought about your own thinking? Sounds weird, right? But that's what is metacognition is. And today, we're diving into the fascinating world of metacognition, where your brain's way of checking on itself. Well, the term metacognition is attributed to Flavel. He described it as a knowledge concerning one's cognitive processes and products of anything related to them. Well, metacognition is known about thinking about thinking. So now there are two components of metacognition. So let's differ first or identify their differences. So metacognition knowledge, as simply put, refers to your awareness of your own thinking and learning processes. Well, it involves understanding your cognitive strengths and weaknesses, knowing which strategies will help you learn most effectively, and being aware of all the types of tasks or challenges that are easier for you. So metacognitive knowledge has three components. First is the declarative knowledge. So simply means what you know. This is knowledge about yourself as a learner. For example, you might know that you're better at remembering details for history or literature, but having difficulty with the abstract concepts in math. Or simply put, declarative knowledge known as the personal knowledge. It starts from your own thinking. So next is we have the procedural knowledge. So it is what you can do. This is knowledge about the strategies and techniques and that you can use to enhance your learning. For example, you might know that creating flashcards will help you memorize vocabulary words in a foreign language, or that making diagrams help you understand how systems work in science. So to make it simple, procedural knowledge from the word it itself, procedures and how to do things, on how to do your task effectively. And the last one is the conditional knowledge. It is when and why in using your strategies. This involves knowing when to apply certain strategies based on the task at hand. For instance, you might realize that summarizing the material is a great strategy for history exam, but for math exam, practicing problem solving exercise is more effective. To simply put, conditional knowledge is a set of strategies in order for you to learn effectively. So now we are done with the metacognitive knowledge. Let's proceed to the metacognitive regulation. So when we think about metacognitive regulation, it is controlling your thinking. So metacognitive regulation has three components also, which is the planning, monitoring, and evaluating. Now let's analyze each. So when you think about planning, it's organizing your approach. For example, before the interview, you make a plan to prepare effectively. So what you will do? First is you will set goals. Second, choose the strategies that is for you is effective. And third is organize time. That's how planning is. So in order for you to make the plan, you need also to make those strategies. So next is we have monitoring. So to simply put this, checking it is checking your progress during the preparation. So while you're preparing, you assess how well your progress is and adjusting if needed. So sa monitoring is it involves observing your progress. So here in monitoring is it is will be able for you to um, to make yourself improve more, and in monitoring is you will discover new skills that is for you is effective pala. Okay, so last is the evaluating. So it is the reflecting on your preparation. So after preparing, you assess how well your strategies work and what needs to improve. So to simply put is evaluating is the outcome of your progress. So here in evaluating, you will see how your work will improve or what does need to improve. And in evaluating it is where you see the effectiveness of the strategies that you will use. So now we're done with the metacognitive components. So now let's proceed to the metacognitive teaching strategies. So first is the think aloud. Well, learners say that their thoughts out loud. While doing a task, this helps them understand how they think and let others point out any mistakes or missing knowledge. So one of the example of this is the reporting. So reporting is saying on what is in your mind and expressing your thought. So this strategy is one of the effective way for those students who are actually love to learn or love to report, love to express their knowledge, no? In order for them to learn. So next is we have journalizing. So learners write down their thoughts during and after the task. They reflect on why they made certain choices, what went wrong, and how to do better next time. So one of the example of this is note taking. No, during the lesson or during the presentation, they are writing their thought in order for them to identify which is what is went wrong and what to do or what to improve next time. So journalizing is more on writing lang jud siya. So let's proceed to the error analysis. So error analysis, students identify what they got right and wrong. This helps them understand their mistakes and use that feedback to improve their future performance. So one of the example of here is the research. No, we tend to submit our research, but sometimes we need to revise it for better improvement. That's how error analysis work. So next is we have the wrapper, so known as the wrapper activity. So a task done before, during, and after the learning to help learners stay aware of their thinking. For example, predicting story themes, checking understanding while reading, and reflecting it after. So one of the example is storytelling. So first is they will identify first what is the theme of the story, then during is what will happen, and at the end of the story they will conclude what is the moral lesson about the story. That's how wrapper activity works. So the last but not the least is the peer mentoring. So learners work with more experienced or skilled peers. From the word peers, it is all about friends, family, or even your loved ones. So peer mentoring is all about mentoring. So one of the example of this is tutoring a child or the study group. How does it work? Peer mentoring work because it involves social interaction between other people. So in order for you to learn, you will learn from them and they will learn from you. That's how peer mentoring works. So that's all for our lesson today about the metacognition, and I hope you learned something from our topic. So again, my name is Diana Rose Playais, and thank you for watching and listening to my presentation. Thank you.
Hope you do!